sweeties, it's my birthday today, and I am going to say thank you all so much for everything. Thank you so much for being part of my community. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love. I am grateful that I have you all in my community, and I am so blessed like you have no idea. And I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you, and I am truly grateful. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about Tucker Carlson and Ice Cube's interview, which has been going all around on TikTok and Twitter. A lot of people are not finding it funny. People think that the interview was a mistake. People think that Ice Cube is a sellout for going to that interview, because you all know how Tucker Carlson is a rich, seasoned person, and I mean, he has said so many horrible things about Black people, and also he has said so many horrible things about Ice Cube. And Ice Cube going on that show shows how he does not value Black people and the rest of it. But then let's talk about why did he go to the show. I think that young man went to that show to promote his own business, right? And people are gonna be like, that is very smart and all that. And then let's talk about, he said, like, in one of the videos where he made, he said that everything is not about race, but then he agreed that race plays like important role in like not really important, race plays some roles in some certain things in America and the rest of it. And then he went for that to see that it is not about color, it is not about this, it is not, sometimes it is not about race, it's mostly about individual. But then I want to say it is not, it is about race, it is about color. If people say they don't see color, why do you stop at the green light when the green light says red if you don't see color? So a lot of people are calling him out and telling him that he is a big disgrace to Black community. And I want to ask, why is it that most celebrities really do not care about Black community? I don't know, because they are always after their bags and all that. They don't want to speak up and the rest of it. You know what? I am just going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. And I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And straight up, I am rolling there.
We've been talking almost all day now. You haven't mentioned race a single time. You've mentioned economics, rich and poor, a number of times. Do you think that we overplay the role of racial conflict in American life?
Yes. I think race, it takes up too much space. There's people that we all have in our lives who are same race that we can't stand. And there's people in our lives from other races that we get along with way better. So it's not about race. It's not about color and gender and this and that. It's about who do you connect with? You know, who do you vibrate with? You know what I mean? Who's on the same wavelength? Who wants to be the same kind of person? Who wants to do the right thing when you want to do the right thing? That's who you connect with. So I think a lot of people make a lot of money off of the racists fighting against each other and bickering. And they the ones who push it in our face all the time that we're separate. And
does feel like there's more of that, doesn't there?
Yeah, it seems like it's like you're stuck in a bad movie and you can't get out. Like you can't find the exit and it continues to play on the screen and you're just running around looking for the exit, and this bad movie continues to just haunt you day by day by day by day. You know, that's what we're caught in. A never-ending, winless battle of,
So why would you be doing this of all interviews? I mean, you could do an interview with anyone. You're doing an interview with me. Obviously, you're going to take abuse for doing that. Like, why would you do that?
Because I think it's silly not to talk to people. I think whether we agree or not,
right?
That has nothing to do with it. You know, it's like, this is what it's all about. Let's talk about it. Let's debate. And you know, I've been shut up.
Ice Cube is my GOAT rapper, but basically he's just become Candace Owens with better beats. The interview with Tucker Carlson was supremely disappointing, and I don't even know what to say about it. Tucker Carlson got all of his points in, basically guided Ice Cube into whatever he wanted him to say. If you watch the edit, the way it was edited, basically Tucker Carlson got his shots in at Obama, Black Lives Matter, Chicago, the vaccine, lied about taking the vaccine because everybody at Fox had to take it. So Cube got snuck there too. It was just sad all around. Cube didn't even discuss his plan for Black America, which is BS anyway, because he doesn't know enough to have a plan. But basically the thing Cube talked the most about was the big three. So if he wanted to get an ad in for the big three, he did that. And I don't know, like, I hope it's worth it. I hope he makes plenty of money off the big three, because he got prostituted by Tucker Carlson in doing so. So hopefully he gets what he needs out of that. It was kind of like watching Forrest Gump's mama with his principal, and I could just see Tucker Carlson like walking out like, oh, Ice Cube sure does care a lot about the big three, because he got used. That was tough to watch, and if you have a chance to watch it, I advise you not, because it'll just ruin your opinion of somebody who I used to look up to.
So as you can see from my screen grab, I have Tucker Carlson and Ice Cube, and they look pretty happy. You probably would have thought from past interviews that Tucker has done, or from Ice Cube's rap lyrics from the past, you would have thought this pairing would have never happened, or at least that's what I thought. So initially, by hearing about this interview, I think it's a two-part interview, I had a lot of questions like, why is Ice Cube sitting down with Tucker Carlson? Now, I believe you should have conversations with all types of people, but this one was, I feel like, was very strategic. And so I had to ask myself, why? So if you've watched Tucker before, you know he has said some awful things about rappers, Black people. He has even lied, hence of why he's not at Fox News anymore. Just his commentary has been very distasteful, especially to people who look like him and that are in a profession like him. And so initially I thought Ice Cube must be promoting something. That's the only way he would sit down with Tucker. And I was right. So as you know, or maybe you don't know, Ice Cube has the big three, which is basically like the NBA, but it's for retired or previous players in the NBA who want to continue playing. It's a different platform. It's different teams, 3-on-3, basically. That's the concept. 3 players from one team, 3 players against another, play against each other, the big three. And I've heard a lot of commentary from Ice Cube that he's getting pushback from the NBA mainly because of his skin and because he thinks the NBA thinks the big three will be competition. So some of that may be true. I don't know. Again, I don't know the ins and outs. But again, I was perplexed by this meeting. And so I watched it. Like I said, it's 2 parts. And I have to say, I don't know this Ice Cube in 2023. Scratch that. I don't know him at all. But I know his history. I know his work. I know his rap lyrics. I know his entertainment, television career, movie career, etc., etc. I know he had the Black contract for Black people as well. So I do know those type of things. And so if you go off of history in what he's always preached about, I don't see this. But see, that's the problem. I don't think that's the same Ice Cube. So just some takeaways for me of why I respect Ice Cube for what he has done for the community, but I just think him trying to promote the big three has really changed his perspective, or maybe his strategic way of trying to get partnership or collaboration with the NBA. I think it's changed his thought processes, for example. I felt like Tucker was baiting Ice Cube. You say, how do you bait Ice Cube? Like this. So Tucker made a comment about, we use our race too much. Do we think race plays a part in what's going on in society? And I'm summarizing. And Ice Cube was like, I think we basically dive too much into race. Not everything is about race. But pause. You just said you're not able to do collaboration with the NBA because of your skin color. Is that not race? Very contradictory to me. Again, why I feel like Tucker was baiting the conversation. It was kind of like Tucker would say a question. Ice Cube would be like, yes, Tucker, that's correct. That's how I felt. And it was so odd to see. Another thing was odd was this ride along they did. Tucker Carlson is riding along with Ice Cube in his old neighborhood. It's comical to me. This is the same man that talks, or in the past has talked about our black neighborhoods, our black community, how people are in their communities, and how we are as a whole. But yet you see that smile and that one? What is so damn funny? And I'm shocked that Ice Cube never really challenged Tucker. And again, this is all promotion and strategic. Ice Cube would talk to anybody he can to get this thing out with the big three. I would suggest people go watch it themselves. I'm kind of still like in shock about it, just because like I said, I respect Ice Cube. I don't know this man. This man, Ice Cube, warned us about men like him in his lyrics. But yet, so I'm confused. What Ice Cube do I listen to? The past or the present? Another example of him saying it shouldn't be about race, or we use race too much. Ice Cube had a contract with Black America. Why would you create a contract with Black America about prosperity, financial literacy, political advantages? Why would you create a contract for Black people if it wasn't about race? Now, mind you, the contract was to say how we're being mistreated in the financial institutions, how we're not able to play on the same playing field as people like Tucker. So if that's how you felt then, do you still feel that way now? Like, there was just no challenges in this. Again, I felt like Ice Cube just sat there. Yes. And even with the COVID situation, it is what it is. He get praised for not taking $9 million because shot. Cool, great, awesome. But I felt like there was some discrepancies in that as well. And what works for you may not work for everybody else. That conversation to me was basically aligning with Tucker. Everything Tucker was saying, Ice Cube was aligning with. They talked about the George Floyd situation, Black Lives Matter, of course the NBA. They even brought up Oprah, the gatekeeper. So to sum this video up, please go watch it. I'm just telling you how I felt in my opinions about it, but everyone should go watch it. And you tell me what you think, because to me, I don't know this person. And it could be because when you're promoting something or when you're trying to get something out, you are willing to lower certain parts of you and maybe even parts of your thinking to get that accomplished. Is that what he's doing? I don't know. But again, I feel like how he has been in the past versus how he was in this 2-part interview, or two different people spreading two different type of messages. And I'm confused, Ice Cube. I'm confused. So y'all go check that out. And let me know your thoughts.
Ice Cube went on Tucker Carlson on Twitter. And I know a lot of people will be upset about it. They don't want to see this at all, man. They are pissed. Like, what's Cube doing going on Tucker? He can't do that. It's against the black law. Up there being free. What's wrong with him? Ice Cube can go wherever he want to go because he a free man in America. Y'all need to get out them echo chambers. My only prerequisite is this. It's one rule. You can go wherever you want to go as long as when you get there, you act like you got some damn sense. You don't go over there and start shucking and jiving, talking out of school, throwing black people under the bus, tap dancing and such. Now, so Cube didn't do none of that. He went over there and he said exactly what was on his mind. I never at one point in this interview felt that Cube was saying stuff he wouldn't say anywhere else. That's called authenticity, realness. There was one part of the interview where Cube talked about the big three. And I know that's why he really went on it, to promote the big three. So all those people that are pissed, Cube been making the rounds talking about his league, his sports league, and how he's trying to get it to work, but he's getting blocked by the NBA. So that's a good reason to go on Tucker. Reach what, 5 million people, maybe 10 million people? But Cube said something important. He said, you know, the NBA loves putting Black Lives Matter on the court. Back when George Floyd got killed, they put Black Lives Matter on the court. Had a graphic designer come put it on the court. Looked really nice. They took pictures and stuff. They made a lot of announcements. People saw it. Got good publicity. But at the end of the day, they don't want to help a black business. They don't care. So everything was fine until it's time to put up and shut up. It's time for the rubber to meet the road, and all of a sudden, that's when that BS comes in. Then they trying to block Cube, a black small business, from doing business. And Tucker made a good point. So you got to give it to Tucker. Tucker said, maybe that's maybe the reason why they put Black Lives Matter on the court so they wouldn't have to actually do anything in real life, Maybe that's why they did it. I don't know. I'm just saying, it looks that way, I could be wrong. You're not wrong. That's why they did it. That's why they all do it. Look, man, don't tell me you care about Black Lives Matter. You care about George Floyd getting killed. If you don't care about black kids, mothers and parents being able to pay the bills. So we are 14% of the population. We own 2% of the wealth. And you want to tell me you don't understand why economics is important to black people? You want to keep talking to me about mass incarceration only? You want to keep talking to me about guns only? Talk to me about paper. So Cube is right. And Cube didn't go there throwing Democrats under the bus. He said he does not trust politicians. That means insert name of politician, don't trust. He didn't say Democrats or Republicans. He said they all on the take, and he don't give money to none of them. One point, Cube, you need to know. Our system is garbage. So in our system, the way it currently operates, 90% of the time, the candidate with the most money wins the election. So that's one reason why politicians spend more time dollar for dollars than anything else, because without dollars, you go home. It's the system. It's a thing called Citizens United. So that's part of the problem. But yeah, you're not wrong, though. You can't trust people. You can't trust politicians. But Q kept it 100 again. He said, look, he did feel really good when Obama got elected. He felt like this was something he never thought he'd live to see. And as a member of Generation X as well, I felt the same way. My wife and I both felt the same way, like, wow, we get to show our kids a black president. But Cube also said a few years later, he looked around and things were the same as they were before Obama got elected. And that's when he said, wow. So much for hope and change. But the same thing holds true, he said, but the same thing, nothing changed under Clinton, nothing changed under Bush either. Both of them. So it's basically a figurehead slot. It's not changing the material position or condition of black people, is it? So it was a great conversation, man, if you're a person that's going to actually listen. Now, if all you're going to do is be butthurt because you think he should have went on Joy Reid's show, when Joy Reid would have spent the whole time arguing with him. Asked him why he went on Joe Rogan or something. But not Tucker. Tucker didn't give a damn. So this is how things are going to go tomorrow. Even if I don't talk about it tomorrow. They will talk about it everywhere. And they will be like this. We'll have Republicans very happy going, yeah, Cube went on his show. I love Cube. And we're going to have Democrats very mad going, I hate Cube. Why Cube go on that damn show? It should be somewhere in the middle. Nobody should be that happy or that sad. And anybody that happy or that sad is either paid to be that way or a moron. I support the big three. I support Ice Cube doing this thing. And I'm glad Cube didn't make this a politicized moment where he just talked about Democrats and ran them through the dirt just to give the Republicans something to be happy about. Don't do it, man. Just keep it a buck. Both of these parties suck. And if you don't know that by now, you need to pull your head out that dirt, people. But if you're going to have a functioning democracy, people should have freedom of speech. It's the most important thing besides freedom. Got to have freedom. Got to be free people. And then comes freedom of speech. And if not, you got an autocracy. We don't want no dictatorships where only one side and one voice has all the power in the country. So right now, people need to respect what Cube did. I hope you do. Don't listen to the pundits who tell you Cube's a sellout. Cube ain't a sellout. It's all of you that need to break the hell out. All right, I'm Tim Black.
Okay, Ice Cube just recently sat down with Tucker Carlson and did an interview. I, for one, am not a fan of sitting down with the enemy and talking with them and breaking bread. But then again, I am not Ice Cube. Ice Cube has the means and the economic means to not be affected behind the policies that Tucker Carlson and the rest of these right-wing white nationalists support. When you sit down with these people, you are legitimizing them. And then their supporters get to say, if Ice Cube supports Tucker Carlson, all black people should support Tucker Carlson. Because they have a group mindset. They think we all think alike. We're all about the same thing. We're not. Another reason why you don't sit down with these racists like Tucker Carlson is because now you're legitimizing the policies and legislation that they're putting forth that will harm black people, such as teaching that slavery was a good thing and it was a fun time had by all, and it was nothing more than a jobs placement program for black people to help them better succeed and build up their communities. The same communities that these same right-wing white nationalists went out and destroyed because they didn't like seeing black people succeed. So they gave them the skills to build a community and then turn around and destroy the community that they gave them the skills to build. Okay? Now, when you go dig even further, now you're getting into, well, it's okay that we had Jim Crow, because Jim Crow just gave white people time to accommodate themselves and be acclimated to black people entering into white society. So that's why we needed Jim Crow. And lynchings were necessary because as a way to send a message to black people, don't get out of line and don't look at white women. See, this is all encompassed into sitting down and supporting and talking with a right-wing white nationalist. And then you get to Jason Aldean making songs about sundown towns and white people saying to themselves, well, see, these black people don't think it's racist, so all black people shouldn't think it's racist. They're again having that oppressive mentality, trying to tell black people what we should and should not do. And when you have black people of influence sitting down with these right-wing white nationalists, it only helps to legitimize their basic racism towards us by hiding it behind a black face. And that's why it was a mistake.
Ice Cube sitting down with Tucker Carlson to bash the black community is deeper than speaking facts. Ice Cube is forgetting the meaning of when we say we're brothers and sisters. Would you sit down with a stranger and talk negatively or bash your brother or your sister or your father? Would it matter if whatever you're saying was telling the truth? No. We gotta hold each other down regardless. If bashing the black community didn't do anything for us, but it did something for Tucker Carlson. If he had it his way, he would let Cube talk about every black leader we ever had, and he would love it. And whether they were facts or not, that's beside the point. You notice Cube got a lot going on. Why you can't talk about Cube? See, Tucker have you on to talk about Obama, talk about the black community. Tucker Carlson didn't care about Cube. You always got to be careful when media bring you on to talk about other people. Because basically what they're telling you is, I don't really care about you. I'm just having you on for my agenda. Cube always struck me as a smart brother, but this wasn't a smart move. Actually, Tucker Carlson actually outsmarted Ice Cube, and that's what upsets me the most. Tell me what y'all think about this in the comments. I'm out. Oh, and make sure y'all follow me.
Speaking from the heart. And whether or not Tucker Carlson, some people say, have an agenda, the fact that he's willing to sit down and learn, I think is just important, right? We need to start talking to each other. Why do we have to just agree?
So
I
this
think
is all I got from the stitches, and I am going to say that, I mean, Black people are kind of angry. They feel like, you know, Ice Cube is a sellout by going to Tucker Carlson's show. I mean, it's all over the Twitter. People like, you know, acting somewhere like, yo, he is supposed to go wherever he wants to. But then, why did he go there, knowing the fact that Tucker Carlson has said so many horrible things about him himself, about Black people? I mean, you all know that Tucker Carlson is red to the season and the rest of it, right? And before he asked him question on race, he was like, we have talked about so many things, but then he went and asked, do you think that we overplayed the role of red to the seas conflict in American life, right? And Tucker Carlson was like, yes, he actually agreed to it. And then he said that race takes up so much space in people's lives, right? And then why he was saying that, he ended up saying he does not see color. I was a little bit kind of shocked, you know. I mean, it's obvious. If you don't see color, that means you don't see the traffic light. Yeah. Sometimes it is about color. I mean, majorly it is about color. Him saying it is not about color, it is not about gender. It is purely about color, and it is about, you know, a lot of people keep saying it's not about it is not about race, it is not about race. The truth is that everything is all about race, especially when it comes to America, right? And I think it's time people like say all this without feeling bad or without wanting to know, without knowing what your opponent or how your opponent is going to feel and all that. I mean, it's time we start saying it with our full chest and not acting like, man, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Because, man, they go overboard and hurt your own feelings right in front of you and not even caring how you feel about it and the rest of it. So him saying that, I do not agree with him, and people are actually mad because he went to that interview, like to the show, and he was promoting his own business, his own business, because I will call it business, the NBA, where he got, like, you know, where people retire, and it's a business. So I think he went there to promote his own business and not even talk about Black community and the rest of it. I mean, this interview like covered so many things, but I am gonna leave a link so you all can go there and watch all the interviews, or you can type Tucker Carlson and the Ice Cube interview on TikTok. You are going to see a lot of it. So, and also he made mention about going to see Trump. I mean, somebody is saying, whoa, I mean, when did he get to this? Like, you know, the people, I mean, I think it's time we have our best interest. I mean, stop mixing politics with sentiment and all that. I mean, when this is not right, it is not right. You don't have to, like, you know, make it look like it is okay. When something is not okay, it is not okay. So don't start looking for a way to cover things up and the rest of it. So this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. I want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think. And thank you so much for the support. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.